Today, we are diving into a really powerful one-act play by Tom Erb. It's all about a family just torn apart by a secret they've held onto for almost half a century, and it all boils down to one single haunting question. Yeah, what kind of secret could possibly keep a family apart for 45 long years? That's the mystery right at the heart of this story. It's one that's tangled up in trauma, deep-seated resentment, and the tricky ways we remember our past. So, let's get to know the people at the center of this storm. First, you've got Delores, the 85-year-old matriarch who has forced this whole reunion. Then there's her son, Tommy, who's walking back into their lives after being gone for, you guessed it, 45 years. We also have John, or Pop, the stepfather who Tommy sees as the villain in this whole story. And caught in the middle of it all, the four sisters, completely torn between their long-lost brother and the painful history they all share. You can already feel the tension building, can't you? All right, so picture this. We're in Dolores' kitchen. It's her 85th birthday, but instead of just cake and presents, she's made everyone sit down to do something really specific, something almost symbolic, pasting old S&H Green Stamps into books, a relic from a life they were all forced to leave behind. The air is just thick with awkwardness. 45 years. That is a lifetime. The hellos are so stiff, especially between Tommy and his stepfather, John. You can practically feel decades of unspoken anger simmering right there at the kitchen table. And that's the line that just cuts through all the silence. Delores, the mom, she's not wasting any time. She makes it crystal clear why she's dragged them all here. She knows she's running out of time, and she is not going to let this family stay broken for one more day. So how does this all finally blow up? Well, it all starts with this seemingly innocent activity, pasting these old stamps. It becomes the key that unlocks a deeply buried trauma. Now, for anyone who might not know, green stamps were a huge deal back in the day. Families would obsessively collect them from the grocery store, paste them into these little books, and then trade them in for stuff from a catalog, a new toaster, a bike for the kids. They were literally the currency of middle-class hopes and dreams in the 1960s. And there it is. While everyone else is kind of reminiscing, Tommy quietly drops his bombshell. He remembers a specific dream he had back in Christmas of 1967. A guitar from that catalog, a dream that's tied directly to those little green stamps and the life they used to have in Norfolk, Virginia. But of course, he never got it. That dream just vanished. Because before Christmas could even come, the entire family fled Norfolk in the middle of the night. And the question that's just hanging in the air is, why? What happened? This is it. This is the moment the dam finally breaks. Pushed by all the tension, Delores is finally forced to tell the story. The terrifying, true story of their last night in that house. Okay, let's walk through this because it all happens so fast. It starts with Dolores' husband, Pi, discovering her affair with John and confronting them. Later that same night, a drunk and heartbroken Pi comes home with a revolver and threatens to kill everyone, his wife, his kids, all of them. And in this just unbelievable moment, a 14-year-old Tommy steps in, punches his own father, and takes the gun. And then John, the other man, is the one who shows up and helps them all escape into the night. You can just hear the father's world completely shattering in this one line from the flashback. It's this raw cry of betrayal and devastation that fueled everything that happened next. And here is the most stunning twist of all. What does 14-year-old Tommy do with the gun? He doesn't give it to the police. He goes outside and buries it. It's this incredibly complex split-second decision to protect the very man who just threatened to kill him. And you just know that choice has been haunting him ever since. So, what happens after a night like that? Well, the shockwaves from that one single event ripple through the family for decades. And as we find out, each of the kids had to come up with their own way to survive the fallout. Just look at how that one trauma splintered off in so many different directions. Tommy's response was to leave, just cut himself off completely. His sister Mickey was crushed by shame and tried to be perfect, which led to its own tragedy. Ruby turned to alcohol. Cindy just moved away, putting physical distance between her and the past. And Kim, the youngest, wrapped herself up in denial. It's a really powerful illustration of how one event can shape 5 totally different lives. But through it all, it's Delores who refuses to let go. This line is just her fierce declaration that no matter what happened, the affair, the gun, the secrets, the decades of pain, that bond of family, as fractured as it is still there. So the big question is, can this family actually heal after all this? The end of the play shows us the first, really fragile steps they take toward trying to make that happen. And this is the confession that changes everything. After all the anger, all the blame, Tommy finally lets his guard down and reveals the real reason he stayed away: the pain. It's this moment of raw vulnerability that finally allows his sisters to see past his anger and understand his decades of silence. And that's really the big takeaway here. In the end, there's no magic fix. They don't just forget everything that happened. But by finally speaking the truth out loud, they can sit together and keep pasting those green stamps, a symbol of their shared past, and now, maybe, a shared attempt at building a new future. The play might be over, but this question just sticks with you. Is that gun, that physical symbol of all their violence and buried secrets, is it still out there, buried behind a fig tree? It really makes you think about the secrets we all bury and what happens when they finally get dug up.